Hello, class. Good evening. Hello. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Am I audible?
Yes, man.
So let's begin with today's session. I'll just share my screen. Let me know, class, if you could see my screen. Okay. Yeah. So, class, like the topic for today is like HTML effects, and today I'll be covering some of the popular tags in HTML, like how do we use parallax, and then how do we add YouTube videos in our programs, and all those stuff. So yeah, and also like I'll just introduce myself. My name is Rimchim, and I work as a cloud and infrastructure engineer at Larson and Turbo. And also like I have an expertise in working in Azure and AWS platforms. So yeah, so this is our agenda for today. Today I'll be covering iframe tag, and these are the tags which I'll be like, mostly this session is all about how do we use the popular tags in HTML. So yeah, I'll be covering iframe tag, and then how do we use parallax effect, and then how do we add emojis, and then emojis and all those things in my program. So yeah, the first tag for today is iframe tag class, and mainly the reason why we use iframe tag is like if we want to embed any kind of videos, or if we want to embed any kind of websites in my HTML program. So in that case, I'll be using iframe tag. So mainly iframe is short for inline frame and is a powerful element in my web design. So the HTML iframe tag specifies an inline frame, and inline frame is used to embed another document within the current HTML document. So mainly by using this tag, you can embed you can embed another website, for example Flipkart or Learnovate website, or you can also embed videos in your program. It can be multiple videos, one, two, three, any kind of videos, depending on the um, copyright it is having. So for example, if you're trying to add a video or YouTube video, or for example if you're trying to add a website in your HTML program. So for example, whenever you are running the program, and if you're not able to and like when you run that program, and if you're not able to see the output as in YouTube video which you have added, or you cannot see the website which you have added, that means there is a copyright content on those websites or on those particular videos. Because of that, you're not able to execute it. So yeah, let me just move to the syntax. So for example, class, for to use my iframe tag, like I have to use iframe tag enclosed within angular brackets. enclosed within a, angular bracket, and then I have to use a closing iframe tag also, followed by backslash. And within my angular brackets for this iframe tag, what I'll mention is the src attribute, which mainly specifies the path of my video or the path of my website which I'm using in my program. So for example, I just try adding a new youtube video in my program. I'll just show you how do we do it, but later I'll just dry run for all of you. So where is it? Yeah, so for example, if I want to add this particular video in my program, so what I have to do is just have to click on the share button, and then herein you'll see an option to embed. So we just have to click here, and then we have to copy all this content in my html document. If you could see here, let me just show it once again. So if we want to include this particular video in my this particular youtube video for from Lornovate site, what I'll do it, I'll click on the share button, and then I'll click on the embed part. So what I have to do is I just have to copy this particular content in the body section of my program, and I'll be able to see this particular video in my program. Okay, I'll just show you when I'm doing dry run. So this is one tag. Any doubts, class, in iframe tag as far so far? Okay. So this is my entire structure of how I'll be using iframe tag. Mainly, class, in iframe tag we mainly have to mention a source path from wherein I'll try to embed. So for example, the YouTube video I showed you here was like, this is the source path for my YouTube video. So if you just click on the embed path, this is the source path which I'm trying to refer to in my HTML program. So whenever I'm writing whenever I want to embed any kind of programs, any kind of videos, or any kind of websites in my program, I always have to use an src attribute in that case. So I have, like, using src attribute, I'll just paste this particular path, and then I'll be able to embed it. And then herein I can fix in the height with anything for my uh in like how height should be for this particular video, how my width should be, and then similarly accordingly, like whatever is our wish, we can just do it. So yeah, let's just move to another tag. So the next tag for today is like ol and ul tag. So how we, like, without ol and ul tag, how it will appear. So for example, if I want to mention two or three things, what I'll do is, like, mainly if I don't have OL, if I don't want to use OL and UL tag, what I'll do is mainly in the body section of my program, what I'll write multiple paragraphs. So I write two, three, four, five, six. So like, but it, like, this does not give me a particular structure in my program. So to solve that problem, what do we do is, in HTML we use OL and UL tag. So for OL is mainly for an ordered list. An ordered list can be numerical or alphabetical. And also, like, if I want to use ol and ul, I have to use a list element. Okay, so for if I want to use an ordered list, I'll be using ol. If I want to use an unordered list, I'll be using ul. And for example, if and whenever I'm using this, I have to use a list. Like, I'm mainly declaring a list of elements, so to declare that, I'll be using li. Okay, I'll show you how we use it. I haven't programmed for that. So yeah, so this is just an easy stuff which everyone knows. And the next and the next tag is the di tag. So mainly, class, why do we use the di tag is to provide a description to my particular element. So the di tag is html elements represents a description list, and the element encloses a list of group of terms specified using the dt element. Okay, so for example, if I want to show you, yeah, so if you could see here, like, how I have written your rimjim, and then the description is engineer and all those things. So if I want to mention this kind of stuff in my program, for example, a header and then a subheader and a description to the subheader. So to mention this kind of stuff in my html program, to give a header to my subheader, I'll be using dl tag, a description list. So mainly whenever I'm using DL tag, I'll just use DL tag enclosed within angular brackets, and then I'll close my DL tag, and then inside my DL tag, whatever element I want to specify, the header or the subheader for that particular thing, I'll be using DT. And the next. Any doubts, class, so far in any of the tags which I've used, whether it is DLDT or iframe or OLUL?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you for confirming. So the next thing is class to, like the parallax effect. So how it happens and what is this parallax effect? So for example, if I have a background image and I want my content to, like if I want my text to cover the background image, so that is called as a parallax effect, parallax scrolling effect mainly. So for like whenever I want to use this kind of effect in my program, I have to use this four stuff in my program. So I have to declare my background size. It can be anything among all these four values. It can be auto, length, cover, or contain. And like I have to also, like if I want if I want a background image to be fixed and I want the content to scroll over it, okay, so how it happens is like I have to define all the four values to my program, to an image which I'm using. So I have to use like I have to define a background attachment also, and that can be scroll, fixed, or local, any three values, any one value among the three. And then background position, and then I can give any kind of value to it, any kind of position value to it. And also repeat would be like if I want, this is x axis and this is y axis and this is my x axis, okay. So if I want to repeat it in x axis, y axis, or if I don't want to repeat it, or if I want to repeat it, then all the values, like among these four values, I can pass any of the values in parallax effect. So mainly parallax scrolling is a website trend where the background content, that is an image, is moved at a different speed than the foreground content in the scrolling. Mainly in parallax effect, what happens is background image will be fixed and we can move over the image. We can scroll over the image and my content will remain fixed. I'll also just show you how do we do it when I'm running the program. And the last header and the last topic for the today is how do we add emojis in my program. So mainly, like we know that the computer will not understand like the English language which we use. So mainly, it has an ASCII value. Like it has an ASCII value to it. So in ASCII, we mainly have. Let me just open a notepad. Just open it from here. So what happens, classes? We have ASCII values. Okay, so for uppercase A to Z and then lowercase A to Z. So for upper value, we have 97 to 122, and then the lower case is 65 to 90. So whenever we want to display these elements like A to Z, like uppercase A to Z, so what value I have to use? For A, I have to use 97. For B, I have to use 98. For C, I have to use 99. So similarly, whenever I'm displaying alphabetical characters in my HTML document, in my HTML program, so I have to use this ASCII values, okay. And for similarly for lowercase, what I have to use is, for lowercase A I have to use 65, and the lowercase B I have to use 66, for lowercase C I have to use 67, and henceforth. So whenever I have to display uppercase and lowercase, I have to use this numerical values which are predefined, okay. And then similarly, in case of emojis, there are some predefined numbers already allocated to all the emojis what we see in Instagram or what we see in um, WhatsApp. So if we want to use this kind of emojis in my program, I have to use this codes which are already defined in HTML. So if I have to use this emoji, I have to use 128512, followed by, like, preceded by an ampersand and a hash symbol. So emojis are characters from the UTF-8 character set, Unicode transformation format, I guess. UTF ka full form is. So like whenever I have to use emojis or anything in my stuff, so I always have to use the ASCII values which are already predefined um, to all the emojis in my program. So if you just see here already, and always I guess on the internet, all the emojis in HTML. If you just Google and then if you just see, there are always, these are the predefined character sets already. No, no, this is not the one. So if we want a full list, we can just Google it out and then see like every emoji has a predefined number to it, which we can use in our programs. So UTF-8 covers almost all the characters and symbols in the world. Emojis are also characters from the UTF-8 alphabets. So yeah, class, let's just try adding emojis to my program. Let me see if I have a structured value. So class, as I told you, like if I want to put any kind of images, or if I want to put any kind of um, videos in my program, so for that thing I always have to use the src attribute followed by the path followed by the name of my thing, which should always be in the folder residing where I'm running my program. And also you can specify the height and width as I showed you in my YouTube video. So let me just run this one image code. So using src attribute, what I have done here is I have just attached an image to my HTML code. What I'll do now is just open that image one. Where are you? Image. Yeah. So open with notepad. So let's just so to use iframe, what I'll do is I'll just go to this particular video. I'll click on the share button and then I'll click on embed and I'll copy the entire path from here. I've copied my path. Then I'll click on close. So class, as you can see here, like I have, this is an iframe opening and then iframe closing. Okay. And then inside my iframe tag, what I have given is like height and width of the particular video which I am embedding. And this is the source of my YouTube video. Okay. So let me just save this program and then let's just run it now. So if you could see here, like I have my YouTube video and you can just play this video also. You can play this video, skip this video, anything. And then similarly, we can just increase the height and width also of this particular video. So what I'll do is let's just do it as 200 and then as 200. So you can just see like height and width got adjusted, and then similarly we can add more videos in my program. Let's just add 2 more. So we have to click here on share, embed, and then copy this code. Copy the path from here to the program. You can save it and then I have to rerun it again. And then let's just try to add a web page also. So what I'm doing here is trying to embed a website in my program. Open with notepad, and then here in what I'll do is iframe. Let's just not specify any kind of height and width to the website link, and then let's just try to close it. Iframe. Let's just save it. So here in class, if you could see, like maybe there are some copyright issues, but this is the third website which I have added, but it is not visible because of the copyright issues. So this is my third website, and these are the two videos. And then, like in my previous session, as I already covered, those of you who have not attended, I'll just cover it in the upcoming sessions. But you can also use put this YouTube videos using grid and plex. So like it will come in a proper structured way. Is this iframe example clear, class, to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So let's just move on to adding emojis in my program. So we'll remove this. Before adding emojis, what I'll just show you is like how ASCII values work in my program. So inside the here in what I'll write is ASCII value example. One second, class, just 1 minute. There was someone at my home. Yeah. So like what I was explaining is like how to print ASCII values in my HTML program. Like this program is very common in C and C++. Also, we print it the similar way depending on the structure we use in C. So what I'm ASCII value example, and then inside my body, what I'll declare, I will display A, B, and C from angular brackets. This is my angular brackets mess. And then display. So class, as I told you, like whenever I want to display this ASCII characters in my program, what I have to use is ampersand symbol, ampersand hash, followed by the ASCII values. So for uppercase, what was my value is for A was it was 65, and then like if I'm displaying two or three characters at a time, I have to just separate them using a semicolon, and then again ampersand hash, and then 66 semicolon ampersand hash, and then 67. My screen is visible, class, right, to everyone? 67 slash p. Okay, and then I have ended the body section of my program, and I have ended the HTML. So let's just save it and then try seeing it what is the output. So if you could just see like what I had written was 65, 66, and 67 preceded by ampersand and hash, which is displaying the values, the ASCII character set values. So let's just change the values. Let me just write here small a, and the value for lowercase was 97. So let's just write it as 97 here and check if that works. So if you could just see like 97 was my lowercase a, and it is printing the lowercase character set here. So similarly, what we'll do is like there are some predefined ASCII sets for UTF characters for emojis as well. So we'll print those. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So let's just print my values for emojis also. So for emojis, what I have, what the code which I've used here is 128512, and then we'll see if the emojis is appearing. So this is one emoji. Let's just try adding another one also. I want my emoji in the next line. So instead of 212, let's just write any numbers and see if it has any emoji to it. So yeah, if you could just see, we have two emojis now. Then let's just try one more. And then give it a any random value, let's say 55, and see. So yeah. So similarly, if we want to include emojis in my program, so I have to use this predefined character sets, which I have predefined UTF values, which are already defined in HTML. So if we want to display any kind of emojis, we just have to go and search the codes on and Google it, or you can just do a trial and hit method, like if there's any emojis attached to this or not, like I tried right now. If you can just 100 and then see if there's any emoji. So yeah, I guess there are a lot of emojis and I guess it would work. So yeah, this is how we display emojis in my program. So whenever I want to display emojis, as I told you, it has to be followed by an ampersand symbol, ampersand hash. So for example, for ASCII character set, what I was doing, ampersand hash, and then the value, the value set which is predefined, followed by a semicolon. If I had to declare it in the same line, what I'll do is I'll just separate it with the semicolon and then I'll write it here itself. But I want it in next line, so I just used four different paragraph tags here. And then let's just do an example for OL and UL. I had a written code. Where is it? Yeah. So for example class, if you could just see here, what was happening is I used four different paragraph tags to display display my elements in different line, and that too it is not structured. So for example, if I want to write my code in a structured way, giving it a numbering or giving it a bullet value, what I have to use is OL and UL tags. So as I told you, like I'll be using in the body section of my program, and then UL is for unordered list and OL is for ordered list. Okay. So herein I have displayed same values using UL and OL tags, and then list is used to maintain my, like, write the values which I'm given, like if I want to display the values in bullets or if I want to display the values in this, what is the list which I'm using. So li tag is used to print the list value. So let's just run this also. So for example, this is an unordered list, and this is an ordered list with 1 2 3 value. So this was a simple one, and then this is done, this is done, this is done, and then let's just see the example of DIDT also. So let's just open the output first. So for example, if you just see here, what was the header is coffee, and again the header is milk, and the description to it, which I have given is like white cold drink or black cold drink. Okay. So for to give a subheader to give a header to my uh, to give a subheader to my header, what I'll be using is DI and DT tags. Okay, so let me just show you. It is always good to present it like this. So if you could just see your DL description list, and then herein I have given my item as coffee, and then a description data to my header was black and hot drink. So similarly, my header and subheader are this one, and this is my description list tag. If I want to display any kind of, like, similarly, like how I was doing in ordered and unordered list, I was using li tag to maintain my list. So to maintain the list, I'll be using DL tag opening and closing, and then inside my DL tag, what I'll be using is DT to maintain the data term. For example, here, like to maintain the header part of my in my HTML element, I'll be using DT, and to give a description to the header, I'll be using DD. So this is how it looks. And then let's just do, this is the last one. So as I told you class, like to parallax effect is mainly in my parallax program, the main important thing is the image. So I have to mention the image. Okay, so herein what I have done is, like in the header section of my program, I have declared an internal css here. and and in my internal css, what I'll be doing is I'll be declaring a class mainly. So what happens is, like whenever I'm using a class in my html program, is I can use it anywhere. Like for example, herein I have just defined what I have just defined my class. And whenever I'm defining my class, like I have to make sure that I'm preceding it with a dot symbol followed by curly braces and and all the contents which I'm given to my program. So for example, this is my internal css. I'll just give you more depth of it when I'm covering the css topic, but herein I'll just give you a gist. So for example, what I'm doing is, in the header section of my program, I'm just writing an internal css. And as I told you in my ppt, there are four things which matters the most whenever I'm writing my parallax program. So background size, background repeat, background attachment, and background position, followed by the values which I'm giving in. Okay, so herein what is happening is, I have given these particular values. For example, in background image, I have an image in my I have a dia 8 image. So I have just mentioned that particular value in the background image part. And the height which I have given is 500 peaks. You can just give any kind of height you want to put. And what I want is, the background attachment which I am putting, it should be fixed. The background position which I am putting is center. You can put any kind of position here. You can center, right, left, corner, any kind of value you can put in here. And then background repeat, so the value which I'm putting for background repeat is no repeat. Similarly, you can put your x repeat, y repeat, or no repeat. And the background size which I am putting is cover, which means it should cover the entire page. Okay, and then I have ended the internal css section of my program in the header part. Okay, and then similarly in my body part, what I'm doing is, calling I'm just calling the class which I have declared in the header section of my program. Like this is my inline css. Okay, and then what I'm giving is, like I'm just putting some values to I'm just arranging it. Okay, so how my program will execute is, like whenever I'm executing my program, so similarly what happens, how it happens in c and c++, it will just execute the directories first, like stdio.h, conio.h. Okay, so similarly what we'll do is, like after coming to doctype.html, it will come to the body section of my program, and it will try to call the class which I have mentioned here. So div class is equal to parallax, so it will try to call this particular class value. And then, no, first it will try to execute this particular statement which I've written here. Okay, and then it will try to call my class which I've mentioned here. So in my class value, these are the values which I've given to my image, and then it will try to inline it. So let me just save it and try to show you. So if you could just see here, this is what it was executed first in the body section of my program, and then it tried to call the internal css which I had written. Okay, so this is the image. And then what I'm having is, like this was the inline css which I have mentioned. Like these are the some of the um designing which I've given to my program. So if you could just see here, even if I'm scrolling, my image is fixed and only the bottom part moves. The text covers the background. So this is what is parallax effect is. It just sounds like it is more, but this is what it is. But only in parallax, what we have to make sure is, we are just defining these four values. I'll also give these values in chat, so that if anybody asks you, you are just aware of it. These are the four values. You just have to make sure whenever you're writing any kind of html, or if whenever you're writing any kind of parallax program, you can just change the values also, like scroll fixed local, or if you want to repeat the background, where it can be repeat x or repeat y, or like background can be auto length if you want to just cover it or contain it. So similarly you can change the values. So yeah, I guess I covered all the practicals. Any doubts, class, in any of the topics which I covered today?
No, ma'am.
Yeah. So you'll get your assignments from your mentors. And then if you have any doubts or if you have any questions for me, you can always reach out to me. And then have a very nice evening. Thank you, class. Bye bye.